All right, all set. First YouTube video back in a while. Have a little sip of coffee. Let's do this. The reason I wanted to jump on here and make this quick video was to come and announce my newfound direction moving forward as a creative filmmaker. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name's Joel. I'm a 23-year-old filmmaker from the east coast of Australia, and I'm just gonna share a little bit of my story in this video about how I came to be where I am today and the direction that I'm trying to move and push myself into moving forward, so that hopefully as a viewer, if you're a creative yourself, whether you're just starting on your journey or maybe you're even ahead of me in the journey, I hope this channel can be somewhere where you can come for inspiration or to learn something, or to even just look as somebody that's relatable, that's trying to chase their goals and just document that in an authentic way. So with that out of the way, let me share with you the story of how I came to be where I am today. I grew up in a small coastal town and I got my first camera when I was aged 14. It was a little GoPro Hero Silver that I got given by my parents for Christmas one year. And as soon as I got this camera, I was in love with it. I took every second I had when I wasn't at school or on the weekends, and I was just always out creating with some of my friends, either filming them in the surf or adventuring, rock jumping, all of these things. As soon as I had this camera in my hands, I was obsessed. Yeah, as I progressed through high school, I became obsessed even more with creating, trying to invest in better camera gear, trying to progress at editing and gain knowledge in that area. And by the time I almost finished school, I was interning in year 11 and 12 for a few media production companies, and I ended up getting a gig moving out of school for a full-time media production company that did real estate agency listing videos for properties. This, for me, at this stage of my life, was the most profound thing. To be able to go out there and make money with my camera, to me, it was the most exciting thing ever. After about a year and a half of working this media agency job for this real estate company, I was following an influencer YouTuber named Brody Moss, or as some of you may know from his YouTube channel, YBS Youngbloods. And at the time, he was searching for a videographer and an editor to come out and help him with all his videos. So I submitted a Seek application, which was on his story at the time he'd put out, and didn't think anything too much of it. I wasn't very ambitious because I was trying to be as realistic as possible. To my surprise, 2 weeks later, I got a call from a random number, and it turns out it was Brody himself calling me up, telling me that I had the job over in Western Australia working with him full time. And I was shocked. I couldn't believe the fact that my skills and my progression in filmmaking could have led to me being able to land such an opportunity like that. So obviously I said yes to the opportunity. I packed up my bags and I moved my entire life over to the west coast of Australia. The year that followed once I started working with Brody was one of the most incredible experiences of my life. To be able to go and live the lifestyle that he's able to live, and to be surrounded by that whole community, and to be able to do the things we were doing on a day-to-day basis was one of the best experiences of my life, and I think it's definitely changed the person that I am today, 100%. After working with Brody for about a year and a half or so, I slowly found that as much as I was enjoying creating all the videos and doing all the exploring that we were doing at the time, I wasn't actually creating for myself much more anymore. I was always creating for somebody else. And as good as it was, I had a deep burning sensation as a creative that I needed to fulfill my passion and purpose of creating for myself. So in mid-2022, I made the hard decision to move back to the East Coast to continue to follow my passions and start creating more for myself. After about 2 years of working pretty much full time, I'd saved up a little bit of money, so I decided, as the travel bug that I am, to spend the rest of the year in 2022 and almost all of 2023 just simply traveling and experiencing new things. This led me to meeting some of my best mates right now on the west coast and the east coast of Australia. It was a time in my life where I was really enjoying just traveling, just not focusing on anything else but having great experiences. Now this may sound like the dream life to everyone, and trust me, it was for a little while, but although I was traveling everywhere and although I was having all these amazing and fun experiences, I slowly had this little piece of me that was telling me that I wasn't doing anything that necessarily had any purpose to it. I was still creating, I was still putting out regular videos on things like Instagram and, you know, just capturing my life at the time, but I didn't actually have any projects that I was working on that filled me with pride, that I was genuinely proud of, that I would show to someone and say, hey, look, this is my work, this is what I'm proud of. And it kind of hit me really hard at the start of this year when I was traveling in Indonesia. Been doing a lot of work at the time for a lot of different people, and deep down I knew that I could be creating more meaningful work. And this flicked a switch that set my soul on fire, to be honest. And nothing that I've really experienced before has set me on a path with so much trajectory in my life than about 2 months ago. I came to this realization that I had to stop everything that I was doing, stop all the travel, stop all the work, sit down, recenter myself, and decide exactly what it was I wanted to do. Now, this specific thing for me is documentary filmmaking. I want to live a life of experiencing new cultures, telling stories of incredible and influential and just inspiring people all over the world. And for me, I'm most brought up and lifted by stories. And what more than telling the stories of really inspiring people? So this is one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video in the first place, to kind of announce my newfound direction in film. I've had so many different avenues and places that I've been with creativity, but I feel like I've finally found a foothold, and it's something that I can't wait to continue progressing in. I'm not saying I'm an expert at all. I'm literally just starting in this kind of line of work, and it's something that I really want to progress at. But yeah, this video and this channel is going to be dedicated to following my journey along this process. This is just meant to be a little bit of an open dialogue from me to you about my journey as a creative and a filmmaker, where I've gone and where I want to go with this whole thing. So thanks for being part of the journey as it's unfolding. I plan to share many more updates of what I'm up to at the moment. They're not all gonna be boring sit down videos like this. I plan to make them a little bit more intricate and fun. So stay tuned for that. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.